Don't worry about hitting the bell, but consider subscribing. Okay, Catanians, I think you're going to like this one. So we're playing a game of Basic Catan, and of course, I always get stressed out on where to build first for my starting two settlements. And of course, I get extra stressed when I have to go first on my placement. So I'm looking at this whole board. There's a pretty good amount of spots to go. I decide I need to double down on some wheat because there is one good wheat hex, and that is the 6, and I need to make sure I'm on that good wheat hex. And additionally, there's kind of only one good brick hex, which is the 4, which is right next to the 6, so I'm like, let me also get on that. And instead of that 11 brick, I'm just going to grab the 3 wheat so I can set myself up for success later in the game, hopefully. Now, if you look, what Orange did is they built on that 10 brick, 3 wheat, 8 stone spot. I am surprised they did not point their road to battle me for the 8 stone, 4 brick spot. I am additionally surprised that Blue, for their second settlement, built on the 8 stone, 10 wood with a 3-for-1 port instead of the 8 stone, 4 brick to cut me off, because they should well know that that is going to be a hot spot if I can get on that later in the game. But I get it because Blue is going to have to play the cities and development card game because of the nature of the beasts that they made for themselves, because they pretty much will only be getting stone, wheat, and sheep, and maybe the occasional wood off of a 10. Because they got the 8-5-6 going, which will basically make their strategy development card heavy. Now, I was able to get 4 sheep early on in the game, trade in for a brick, and I used the 1 wood that I earned from my second starting settlement. So if you look, I actually did not build on stone to start out with, and I basically did not build on wood to start out with. I only built on a 2 wood. So I was like, I'm really going to have to hope the trades are going to come in for me very, very well, or else I'm not going to be building out much. I'm going to be spending a lot of the game trying to 4-for-1 for more wood so I can build roads and a settlement. Because my whole game plan was, if I can boost myself up out of the hole and get lucky, I can get onto that 6 wood and the 4 stone and have wood and stone coming in along with my other resources. And look at this. Orange could have cut me off right here, as you see in the title of the video. Why did Orange not cut me off and secure that 8 stone, 4 brick spot for themselves, and additionally maybe even built one more road to get the stone port, or maybe built on the 8 stone, 4 brick spot and then built 2 more roads to the 4 brick, 11 brick with the stone port spot? It just blows my mind. I think that they would have basically, what's the phrase? Have your head cut off, or run around like a chicken with your head cut off. They could have just immediately halted me in my tracks by doing that. But thankfully they didn't, and thankfully Blue did not play on that spot for their second starting settlement, which still boggles my mind. So now look at this. We've actually had some 2's early in the game, some lucky 2's. And now I'm just kind of off to the races because I was able to actually earn some wood off some rolls, which is crazy. And of course, no one's going to shut down the 2 with a robber, because when does that ever get rolled? But sucks for them because it actually got rolled twice early on in the game. So now I have, look at my numbers. I've got a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Those are some crazy numbers. Well, actually, I don't quite have the 8 yet, but I'm about to, because I was able to build a road down and secure that spot for me on the 8 stone, 4 brick. And if you look at my resources, now I'm doing pretty darn good. I have 2 wheat hexes, 1 brick hex, 2 wood hexes, 1 stone hex, and 2 sheep hexes. So all around, I'm going to do a little more building out once I get that fourth settlement on the board, then I should be pretty good to go to start then building upward and upgrading those into cities. So this goes to show you that although, yes, there is a lot of strategy to be had in Catan, in basic Catan, especially the expansions, but sometimes it comes down to the dice rolls. If I did not get those 2's, I would be still stuck at 2 victory points. I know this for a fact. I mean, maybe a little bit later on, maybe 5-10 more turns, I may have saved up enough sheep, or I may have saved up enough wheat to do 4-for-1 trades. But because I got those lucky 2 dice rolls, 2 snake eye dice rolls early on in the game, I was able to sneak in 2 wood, couple it with my brick, and then have some wheat and sheep lying around to build a road and a settlement. And it's frankly amazing to me that this course of events played out. If this was a Catan World Championship game and that happened, and I was, playing with expert players that have been playing Catan and can strategize way better than me, they would all just probably be, frustrated out of their minds that 2's got rolled like that, and it just a complete stroke of luck. So I'm just sitting here imagining the looks on their possible faces if that happened, assuming, of course, I made it to the Catan World Championships, the final Catan match, which would be cool. I missed out, as another 2 gets rolled, by the way. I missed out on the 2020 championships. I'm not quite sure if they're fully happening because of the whole coronavirus, but apparently you got to hop in like the year before to get in some of the qualifying regional rounds in order to even hope to compete at the national level and then the world/global level for the Catan championships. So they host them every 2 years, by the way. So 2022, you might see the Unorthodox Master Games there live in person. Although I don't know if most of you have seen my face or not. You have to go back on some of my other videos where I may or may not have shown this face. Let's just put it at that. Okay, so now at this point, my 8 stone did get shut down because I'm now built on it. But it's okay because I just have lots of good numbers, lots of good resources, diversity all across the board, all around. And if we look here, Orange has got some good stuff going on. They just upgraded to a city, so they're at 4. We're actually all at 4 victory points, which is not a bad thing to be at this point in the game. It's still, just kind of getting to the halfway point because, of course, in basic Catan, you only play to 10 victory points. But Orange has got a good command of the middle of the board because they've built out. I mean, of course, they could have built to that 8 stone 4 brick I keep harping on about, but instead they chose to build to a spot that favors cities and development cards, that 4 stone, 9 sheep, 11 wheat. And because of that, they can now also keep going if they wanted to all the way to the other side of the board to get that 8 stone 3 wood with the brick port, which it looks like, well, they just built the road there. Maybe they're going that way. And of course, if you just build across the halfway, all the way across the middle of the board, you're going to get Longest Road, which they do. And Longest Road, of course, is always important. But at this point, I'm not too worried about it because it's only about halfway through the game. And you see Blue is playing lots of night cards. So I'm figuring that I can worry about Longest Road later once the Orange is around 8 or 9 victory points. Maybe we got to start thinking about taking it away from them. As the 7 gets rolled, conveniently, for me, I have 8 cards. I say that sarcastically, of course. But I do get to shut someone down, so maybe I'll get a good card. And I'm going to take a sheep, which is not nothing to write home about. Now we look at Blue. Blue only has 4 victory points. And I see they have 2 settlements on the board. Did I miss them? Yeah. Oh, wow. They did get largest army. Wow. That's how many nights they played. That was their 5th night they played. They put it on the 8, but a 4 gets rolled, and I get a stone and a 2 brick from that. So, and another 4 gets rolled, so just double down on what I just said. So that's pretty cool. And at this point, because I've got a lot going on, I'm going to start building out. I'm thinking about getting that 3-for-1 port over there at the top right of your screen with the 5 sheep and the 10 brick as I buy a victory point card. What a man, just the best development card to draw out of all of them. So now, because I just got it, they're probably thinking, oh, it could be anything. It could be a knight, it could be a Monopoly, Year of Plenty, longest road card, or road building card. So they still are very in the dark about what I have. But only on my screen does it show I have 5 victory points, whereas to everyone else, their screens show I only have 4. So I build my next road, and now I'm getting ready to build on that port there, 3-for-1 port. I buy another development card, hoping to draw a victory point card or a road building card, but unfortunately it's just a knight, and there's no way I'm going to compete for blue and knights. But getting back to blue, they had a good setup initially, but it seems that it's not quite working out for them, because although they have the 8-5-6 going for them, if you look around the board, what they have to build out to is really not that good, because they've built down to build again on the 6 wheat, but it's also on an 11 brick, 12 wheat. So that's kind of pretty weak. And the other thing is, as another 2 gets rolled, what is it with these 2's? That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen 2's get rolled that many times in a game of Catan. I think we're at maybe 4 rolls of 2. We'll check the dice statistics at the end, but that's just insane. So blue is building a lot on wheat. They should get the wheat port, which I believe my development cards are hiding. I believe it's somewhere at the bottom of your screen, probably where the 12 wheat is. That's where I think I can see part of the port little icon sticking out. But yeah, they really should get the wheat port, because I mean, they're not really building on good numbers besides the 6 wheat again, and they could just build more on the 8 stone, but that's all they really have going for them. And they should have upgraded to cities by now, so they could have start to churn out even more development cards instead of wasting all their... Well, it's not a waste because they did get largest army, but maybe instead of spending all their cards on development cards and drawing 5 or 6 of them, at this point, maybe they should have gotten a city first, so that way later in the game, they can really be development card king and have 10, 15, maybe even 20 of them. So they do plop down another settlement, but at this point, I'm not too worried about them. They only have 5 points. They're getting okay resource production, but I think this game it's down to me and orange, although a 12 gets rolled, and blue only benefits from that. But yeah, I think it's down to me and orange this game. We're both at 6 points. We're actually both tied for roads. Orange has a 5-length road. I also have a 5-length road, but because orange is the incumbent, they already had the 5 roads, they get to hold on to it. So now I have to try to think about taking longest road, but maybe not too early to make myself a target. Although I'm kind of a target because they keep shutting down. Well, it's mainly orange that's a target. They keep shutting down the 8 stone, and by nature, by me also being built on the 8 stone, I'm also going to get shut down. But I go ahead and I take longest road because at this point I'm pretty close, and now I really need to think about building cities. I think I should have probably upgraded one of these settlements to a city before plopping down a 5th settlement on the board, because now I have a chance to build on that sheep port on the 6 wood, but I already have all 5 of my settlements on the board. So at this point, it's go time. I have to build myself a city. And that would be nice if I could get a 6 or a 3, because then I'll get some wheat coming in. I already have the 3 stone that I need. Or I could just get some more sheep coming in and 3-for-1 that, because I'm now on the 3-for-1 port. And at this point, it's kind of a dice roll game, because although orange does have 2 cities as of just a few seconds ago, I have most of the numbers on the board. I don't have a 12, and I don't believe I have an 11, but I do have a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. So I pretty much have all the good numbers covered, plus some of the not so good, although the 2 was very lucky for me this game. And now blue wants to offer up some wheat, and I didn't take it because they wanted stone, and I can just 3-for-1 my sheep. So, look, 8 was rolled, and of course, looking back, I should have taken it. So I quickly see if they're still going to offer it up. They're not, because of course they probably saw I got some stone, and now I was willing to part with it. And I could have even offered up a stone and a sheep because I still had 3 sheep left to do the 3-for-1. But of course, I had to do just the 3-for-1 with myself. And I'm 1 card away from building a city. And I could have bought a development card, but I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it to risk it trying to draw a victory point card out of the development card stack. Why not just save up for a city and hopefully not get shut down, hopefully not get a monopoly played on me, and just wait it out. I'll probably get at least another sheep or another wheat by the time my turn rolls around. I am sitting at 7 cards right now as blue is about to roll a 4. Now I just have way more than 7 cards, and I will be screwed if a 7 is rolled. And blue actually plops down a city on the board before me. Very impressive. I forgot there's 2 8 stones on the board, 1 on either side. That's pretty cool. But what's not cool is a 7 being rolled, and of course, I always burn cards on a 7 roll, especially in the second half of the game. So now I'm like, I got to draw a wheat from someone off the robber. I really have to. And I'm going to draw from blue. I get a sheep, and I'm kind of right back where I started from last turn, at the end of last turn. And another 7 is rolled. Of course, I'm going to get shut down because I am in the lead with 8 victory points. And I hold Longest Road, which I stole from orange. Thankfully, my sheep gets stolen and not my wheat. I would have been okay with the stone getting stolen as well, but I absolutely need that wheat. And I'm just really waiting for my dice roll to come in here. That is going to favor me. And orange was probably thinking about taking Longest Road, but I don't think they had the resources to do so. And we're really late in the game here at this point. I'd still have my knight in case I was going to use my knight if they shut down one of my wheat hexes, but I draw a wheat from a 3, and of course I'm going to upgrade one of my settlements. And after this, all I need to do is upgrade one more settlement into a city, or place my 5th settlement back on the board on that sheep board up there. 11 gets rolled. They both get 2 wheat. Man, orange has a 3rd city on the board, and they already have 2 roads off of that city on the 9 sheep to go ahead and build themselves a settlement. Or they could build a settlement on the 3 wood, 4 stone. But I'm like, they really need to take Longest Road if they want to beat me, because is that not alarming to them that I'm at an entire 9 victory points, but a 7 is rolled? But this time, orange has to burn cards because they have 8 cards, and thankfully I only have 3. And probably by now, they've realized that I've been sitting on 2 development cards for a while, so they're probably thinking one of those is definitely a victory point card. And I draw another stone, and I just need a few more cards, but another 7. Sometimes these 7s late in the game really can make or break someone's game because they're just so close to building that crucial extra settlement or city, but they just can't quite do it because people keep stealing from them, or they have to burn cards because of the 7, or many other just late game factors that your win is never for certain. You always got to play, the best strategy you possibly can all the way through. It starts with your starting settlements. It continues with the mid game, and it finishes out with the late game and the hopeful victory. And of course, the 4 is rolled, 3 brick off a 4 and 1 stone, and that's all I need. I could trade in my stone for a sheep and get the settlement. I could have also traded in 3 brick for a wheat and gotten the city. Either way, that's 10 victory points. Thank you all for watching. What a crazy win. Thank you, Catan, for those lucky 2's. And what was the specs? 6 2's. 6 2's in this game. Let me know if you've ever played a game of Catan where you saw the dice roll more than 6 2's. And look at that, even 3 12's. So that's 9 rolls of the least rolled numbers statistically, probability-wise. Thanks for watching. What a crazy game. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.